delay, I'd like to now invite Chairman Imran Khan.
We're watching!
Join us.
First of all, I would like to thank Queen Mary College Business School, Management School, for giving me this opportunity to be here and talking to the future of Pakistan. Thank you very much for inviting me. And then thank you for this very warm welcome. I'll try and be fairly brief about what I think are the solutions to problems that Pakistan faces today. But I really look forward to your questions after that, because that will really make me understand sort of queries you have about the situation which prevails in the country. Pakistan faces two problems, two major problems. One is the war on terror. Can you please just give me a bit of time so that I can concentrate. So number one is the war on terror, the implications on Pakistan, and number two is the governance situation in the country. And the economic situation in the country is a consequence of collapse of governance in Pakistan. So, what are my solutions? First of all, the war on terror. By sending Pakistani troops into Waziristan in 2003 and 4, under pressure from the Bush administration, Pakistan has got itself landed into a situation where, unless it gets out very quickly, the country is going to implode. The law and order situation, the economy, everything depends on how quickly we get out of this war thrust on the country. Before 2003 and 2004, before the Pakistani army was sent into Waziristan, there were no militant Taliban in Pakistan. I repeat, no militant Taliban in Pakistan, and this is from General Aurangzeb, who was the corps commander who took the troops into Waziristan. He, according to him, when the army went in, they were garlanded. The people of the tribal areas received them as brothers. There was no resistance. Pakistani soldiers could roam around anywhere in the tribal area. A combination of drone attacks, which started late 2003-2004, and military operations by Pakistan. And this is what you must understand. This is the disaster that befell Pakistan, and you must understand what happened. In order to flush out 200 or so Al-Qaeda, which was supposed to have come into Pakistan after Tora Bora, Pakistan ended up sending its army and starting military operations, which involved bombing of villages. So the combination of drone attacks and Pakistani military operations, which involved, as I said, bombing from helicopter gunships and later on by F-16s. And we were talking about villages. We ended up having a revolt in the tribal areas, starting in Waziristan. And it took from 2004 to 2006 for the creation of what became to be known, the phenomena known as the Pakistani Taliban. And the more military operation and drone attacks, the more this phenomena spread until now. When the army gave a presentation last year, there were 30 groups that call themselves Taliban. So Pakistan ended up first owning someone else's war. No Pakistani was involved in 9/11. Al-Qaeda was trained by CIA based in Afghanistan. Pakistan had nothing to do with this. It was a ruling elite, yet again, trying to cash in on US support and US dollars, which got us stuck into this. It's exactly what happened in Afghanistan. A military dictator took us into the war in Afghanistan, which Pakistan benefited. A lot of dollars came into Pakistan, our growth rate went up. But that was the beginning of militancy in Pakistan, the Kalashnikov culture and drugs coming into Pakistan. Now, again, a dictator takes us into a war which was not Pakistan. And gradually we saw it spread, starting from Waziristan and all the 7 tribal agencies. So today, the situation is such that there is some sort of a truce in South Waziristan, but in other agencies, under pressure from the US, Pakistan is involved in, army is involved in various operations. The entire strike force of Pakistan now is in the 7 tribal agencies. Almost 35% of Pakistan army today is now involved in the 7 tribal agencies. And the worst thing is that there is no end to this. No one today can say, what will we do for this war to end? The hope we have is that there is a realization now in Europe, in America, that there is no military solution in Afghanistan. So what we hope, given the current puppet government in the country, what we hope is that the Americans eventually will have a proper exit strategy from Afghanistan, which is not visible right now. And the moment the Americans leave Afghanistan, Pakistan security forces will be able to control this terrorism. How? Because the real terrorism that is hurting Pakistan are suicide attacks. Suicide attacks can only happen when the suicide attacker thinks he's being a martyr. You can only be a martyr if you're supposed to be fighting a foreign occupation, in this case, the United States, or the Pakistan army, which is considered a proxy of the American army by the suicide attackers. So, and this is one of the former CIA chief of Kabul, Graham Fuller, has written actually 2 or 3 brilliant articles on this, where a year back he wrote in the International Herald Tribune that the moment the US, the NATO forces leave Afghanistan, Pakistan will be able to control this, the insurgency or the militancy. So, we now have a choice. Either we wait for the Americans, and my worry is that what they're hoping is that by using force, which they're doing right now, they want to get the Taliban on the negotiating table. If it doesn't happen, this could keep going on, which is a worry. Because if it goes on there, they will put pressure on Pakistan to do more. And do more means more military action. More military action means more suicide attacks. There were 500 blasts in Pakistan last year. In Peshawar, there was at one point there was a suicide attack every 40 hours. Before 2004, we never had maybe 1 or 2 suicide attacks in our history. We had militants, but they were being controlled by our establishment. But now, the number of militancy and the radicalization that is growing. Remember, it's not religious fanaticism, it's radicalization of the youth that is taking place in Pakistan, which is a much more worrisome issue for us. So, either we hope that the US will leave Afghanistan, and I think in Pakistan our security forces will be able to control the militancy, or Pakistan has to extricate itself from this war which US is fighting. Because unless Pakistan extricates itself, what will happen is that our security forces and our police will be constantly targeted. And then there are people who are using this opportunity to destabilize Pakistan. We don't know, the government keeps talking about a foreign hand. We don't know who the foreign hand, the fingers are pointed at India, at RAW, at the Afghan secret services. even Mossad, so we don't know what's happening, Blackwater, but whatever is in Pakistan at the moment, things are very unstable, which means our economy is affected, everything, governance is affected. The police is more worried about looking after itself and the VIPs, so the population at large is completely left unprotected. Now the economy. How do we get out of this mess? And just so that you understand, total revenue right now is 1,600 billion rupees. Our expenditure is 2,400 billion rupees.